Martin Scorsese has accomplished a lot as a filmmaker, the director behind such amazing films like Taxi Driver, Killers of the Flower Moon, and The Departed. But today, I don't care about any of those movies. I don't care about them because I disagree with Scorsese's esteem as a writer and director being based on just those movies. Because for me, Martin Scorsese's best film was released in 1967, his third film ever, and it's only 6 minutes long. Struggling at the time to finish and release his first ever feature film, Who's That Knocking at My Door, Scorsese tried his hand at creating a short film. With film supplied by a film festival in Belgium, he sought out to create a short, incredibly impactful, and incredibly discomforting film. The Big Shave. The film starts with showing us a pristine white bathroom, completely painted over with white paint. The close-up shots already start to lead the audience to feel a bit uncomfortable, to fidget in their seats as they wait for something, anything, to break up the overwhelming sea of clinical, pristine white coloring. Something about the scene's distinct lack of a subject to look at makes us feel uneasy, like something is wrong. Something has to be wrong. Nobody keeps their bathroom this clean. Where's the mold, the stray items left on the sink, the trash can? It's that clean, pristine whiteness that represents America, or rather, how America wants to see itself.
In no other country in the world is there such a widespread emotional attachment to the symbols of a bureaucratic government structure.
Some national pride is of course fine, all well and good to be proud of your country, but it becomes a problem when you refuse to own up to any wrongdoing.
You lied! You lied about weapons of mass destruction! You lied about connections to 9/11! You lied about Iraq being a threat! You sent me to Iraq! You sent me to Iraq in 2003!
The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine.
Finally, the shot is broken by the arrival of our young, unnamed man. Scorsese's script describes him as typical-looking, white-faced, ashen-haired, Anglo-Saxon young American, with a peculiar air of normality. And the final image of him in the film seems to fit that role like a glove. He's a representation of the young American man of today, going about an action that should be routine and simple. He has pride for his country. The jazz music that plays helps guide us into that strange double feeling. On one hand, we haven't seen anything that would directly lead us to believe that there is any danger, but on the other hand, something about the scene feels wrong. It doesn't feel natural. Everything about it screams perfect and normal, but we're hesitant enough to know that something is up. That's when the man finishes shaving. We expect a cut outside of the room. After all, who would make a film that only takes place in a bathroom? That's when the man starts to shave again. The alarm bells in our heads start to go off once again. With nothing else to do, we feel like a restrained audience, forced to do nothing but sit and watch as this man shaves again and again and again. Now the blood has started. Shaving nicks are common, but the man's complete disregard for it against the pristine white bathroom reinforced the feeling that something is wrong. He isn't normal, and neither is the situation that he's in. Scorsese is trying to show us the flaws in America that he sees today. A government and military who deny any wrongdoing, who sticks to their beliefs so strongly that they hurt the very people they should be trying to support. Scorsese is using the entire short film as a way to deliver his message on America's involvement in global conflicts. This haunting sense of paranoia only grows as the man goes on shaving. Soon blood replaces the shaving cream, the crimson liquid spilling all over the bathroom as this man mutilates himself with no end in sight. It's Scorsese's way of telling us that America should have stopped. They did their selfless altruistic duty in World War I and World War II, but now the country was bloodthirsty, wanting to conquer and control. Cold War tensions had been steadily rising, causing the kickoff and subsequent deaths caused in the Forgotten War between North and South Korea, or crimes committed on both sides. It's easy to think of North Korea now as the dictator-led country with no hopes of democratic leadership, but neglecting that the United States had a part in creating what North Korea is today means they aren't taking responsibility for their actions. The United States dropped more bombs on North Korea during this time than the entirety of the Pacific War, which lasted 2 years longer. But back to the short film. As the man continues to self-mutilate himself, it gets harder and harder to watch. What began as a normal, healthy man in country only a few short minutes ago has now become a bloodbath. The man's blood streaks and stains everything. Scorsese says it himself in the script. Through this entire ordeal, the young American doesn't seem to know what he is doing to himself, and acts accordingly. He doesn't bat an eyelash. The film's final shot consists of the man slitting his own throat and then touching up, how one would with a razor, before we cut to the sink basin and see he finally sets the razor down, now covered with blood, onto the sink, and it all fades to red, similar to the start of the movie's all-white colorings. Please note that my analysis of this film as an allegory for the United States' involvements in conflicts, and more specifically the Vietnam War, is not unsubstantiated. Scorsese's pitch itself ends with the line, "I hope the film will express my sad feelings concerning the present general moral condition of my young country, and a sentiment, a personal one, of an America I never knew." Scorsese makes the film not with anger or malice in his heart towards his country, but with a sad resignation that this is what it has become.
The people have the power. All we have to do is awaken the power in the people. The people are unaware. It's like they're not educated to realize that they have power.
An interesting element of the film is the song used throughout.
Till I can get started with you.
While it may sound soothing and enjoyable at first, analyzing the lyrics reveal a darker theme to the tune, especially when put in conjunction with the short film it's used in.
I've flown around the world in a plane. I've settled revolutions in Spain.
The lyrics talk about a man who has been around the world, a globetrotter who has settled revolutions in Spain and explored the Arctic, and on all accounts has found success at all points in his life, except for with this mystery person. The chorus uses lines such as, "You're so supreme, the lyrics I write of you, dream, dream day and night of you." The song's choice is certainly intentional. Its meaning relating to an America that Scorsese wishes he could experience. He has spent years worth of his time trying and hoping that America could regain its esteem and humanity in his own eyes, and yet no matter how much he tries to do, none of it seems to make a difference. For even more evidence of Scorsese's message, look no further than the alternate title, which was Viet 67. I think what makes this short so masterfully crafted is the way that Scorsese does so much with so little. There isn't a single word uttered by a character, not a single other set piece for the film to cut to, forcing the audience to look not just at what is being shown on the screen, but also to look internally, and to consider their own role in the country they live in, to consider the own ways we justify past mistakes and brush over things rather than dealing with them and apologizing. The young man in the film is not at fault for his own bloodshed in the same way that soldiers are not directly at fault for the actions they are forced to do. Rather, they seem indoctrinated into a certain way of thinking to seek and destroy the enemy is the only thing they are trained to do. Boot camp and the disciplinary action stifles creative and critical thinking. Scorsese has tackled the various problems he sees with America in many other films, even going back to his criticism on the glorification of violence in the Vietnam War in his film Taxi Driver, released just 9 years later. But for me, The Big Shave will always hold a special place in my heart for its effectiveness at crafting an anti-war piece on such a limited budget. The film has stayed with me ever since I saw it for the first time. The shot of the man slitting his throat with such a calm and collected demeanor never fails to make me uneasy. That's why I believe that Martin Scorsese's best work is not one of his lengthy 3-hour films, but instead this 6-minute short. For the limited amount of time it takes up with the viewer, it leaves so much to chew and think on. Thank you all for watching this video on The Big Shave. The short film really doesn't have a lot of material out there to consume in regards to it, so I hope this video feels sufficient in explaining the history and political stance behind it, and why it's one of my favorite short films that I've ever seen. I've linked the film in the description if you want to watch it, and I really would urge you to do so. Thank you once again, and don't forget to like and subscribe or watch another one of my video essays, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.
Because I think the country's given me a lot of things, and it's given me a chance to go to school. I had to work through school, but it gave me a chance to at least go. But I don't know, I think I'd really sort of worry about going over to Vietnam, because I hate to fight somebody else's war.
So many people have to die, and it's a dirty shame.
So many things in the war are fixed around the dollar. You know, somebody's making money, okay? And I don't want people making money off of me.